Hello everyone, my name is Sanya Arora. I'm a data science and business analytics intern at the Sparks Foundation. This is the task 3 which has been given to us to complete and provide with the analysis. So the task is we have to perform the exploratory data analysis on the sample superstore data, and the objective of the task is that as a business manager, we have to find out the weak areas where we can work to make more profit and what all business problems we can derive by exploring this data. So the step 1 is importing all the important libraries: pandas, seaborn, numpy, matplotlib, which is the visualization library, then matplotlib.pyplot, and we have printed that the libraries is imported successfully. Now we are importing our data set, which has been provided to us, which is the samples superstore data. And since it's a CSV file, so we are using the command pd.read_csv, and we are importing the data. So we are beginning towards the next step, which is called the pre-processing, or I should say the cleaning of the data. And after that, we'll perform the EDM. So first we are checking upon the shape of the data, which will be telling us the rows and columns. So we have 9994 rows and 13 columns. Then we are just looking at the data by checking upon some rows and columns. So by head command, we are getting the first 5 rows, and by the tail command, we are getting the last 5 rows of the data. And we can see that it has columns, ship mode, segment, country, city, state, postal code, region, category, subcategory, sales, quantity, discount, and profit. So we have sales, quantity, discount, and profit as a 4 numerical columns. So we have to do our analysis. Our analysis will revolve around sales, discount, and profit. Now let us look at the summary of the data, which would be given to us by the info command. So this is telling us about the data types of the columns, non-null values, and how many rows are there, the memory usage, and everything. So now we are moving on towards the columns in the data. So first of all, we are checking upon what all are the columns. We have checked already, but with the df.columns, df was the name of our data set. So we have got all the columns which we had. Now we are just checking upon the different types of unique values inside a particular column by using the function called unique. So for category, we can see we have 3 in the categories column, we have 3 subcategories: furniture, office supplies, technology. Similarly, we are checking for subcategory column, then we are moving on towards the segment column, then region, then country. And upon checking upon to the country column, we see that here only United States is a unique value, so it's not required for our analysis, and postal code is also the same. So we will just drop that from our data set so that it won't create a problem. So and we need to make these changes permanent, so we'll use in place is equals to true. Now this is our fresh data where we have dropped the 2 columns, and now we are left with, out of the 13 columns, we are left with the 11 columns, and the number of rows are the same. So now we are checking upon for the unique values that do our data has some unique values in each column or not. So with this command, we have checked, and yes, we have got all the unique values. How many are the unique values? Now we are moving on towards checking the missing values, so which we will check by the is null function. And since these all are the zeros, implies that there are no missing values, and that's what we have printed over here, that print total number of null values is equals to 0. Now we are doing the visualization of these missing values only, so by using a heat map. So we have used a seaborn library, and we have plotted that, and we can see that in this heat map there are no color differences, implies that there are no null values. So now we are moving on towards to check the duplicate values, because if there would be duplicate values, we have to remove them. So upon checking with this command, we got that there are 50 duplicate values, so we are dropping them. Again, we want these changes as to be permanent, so we are making them as using in place equals to true, we are making them permanent. Now we are verifying that, so we are checking upon our data, and yes, now we have 9944 rows. Earlier we don't have, we have more, so they are dropped. Now let's look upon the data types once again. Of the remaining columns, 2 are removed, so we can see that we have these 4 as the numerical columns. Now we are ensuring that yes, the duplicated values are removed, so we again use that command and we got as 0. So yes, our duplicated values are removed. Now let us look at the mathematical summary of the data by using the describe command. So it's giving a statistical summary. It gives us for the 4 numerical columns which we had: sales, quantity, discount, and profit. We are getting all the information mathematically: the count, the mean, the standard deviation, minimum value, maximum value, and the quantiles, 25 percentile, 50 percentile, 75 percentile. Now upon looking at this data, we can get that in minimum sales is 0.44, maximum sales is 2263.48, and maximum profit is 8399.976. So this we got from the described command. Now we are printing the same using the print command, and now this from this unique I mean, for this command, we're printing the unique data in each column. So if we have to look upon what all are the unique values in each column, we can just have a direct look over here. So this is how we can see. Now let's move on further, and we can see that we have find out the correlation among the columns, and correlation is telling us there's some negative correlation between some columns and there's some positive correlation. So it will automatically take up the negative values for the numerical columns, and positive values accordingly, and it will only take up the numerical column. So accordingly we have got the correlation, and next we have found out the covariance. Now let's move on further. So this is the summary of our data by using the value counts. Now we are moving on. So this was all the cleaning and the pre-processing process. Now we are moving on towards our analysis, univariate and multivariate analysis. So first we'll work upon one column, then accordingly we'll work upon multiple columns. So first of all, we have plotted the heat map of the correlation, as we have found out with the core function. Using the core function, the similar analysis we can see from this heat map of this, I mean the visualization of that correlation over here. So we can observe from this heat map that there's a positive correlation between the sales and the profit, and negative correlation between discount and the profit. So this was the heat map for the correlation, and again we have visualized the covariance also by using the same, and here's a heat map. Now we are moving on to our shift mode column, and we'll work upon that. So first of all, we have plotted, we have used a value count, and we have given the count of the values, and we can see the standard class is opted more and same day is opted least. Similar thing we can visualize using this count plot, and that's what we have got over here. Most opted is standard class and least opted is same day. Now we will work upon profit and sales column along with the shift mode column. So we are using our group by command over here, and this is the first we are grouping upon them, and then we are using the sum over to that, and accordingly we are sorting it also, so that we can get the highest and lowest easily. So we can see profit and sales is least for the same day, and highest is for the standard class. And this can also be visualized using the graph below. So we have plotted the bar graph, and we can clearly see over here that standard class has highest and same day has the lowest. So moving on further, we are moving on to the so this was our observation for the shift mode. Now we are moving on to the segment column, and we can observe that for again the same thing we have done. We have first used the value counts to get the count of the segments. So we can see consumer is the highest and the home office is the least. Now we'll again observe this by plotting a count plot, and we can clearly see that consumer major distribution is in consumer segment and least is in home office. So as a business manager, I would suggest that the store need to focus more on home office segment so that the business can improve. Now we will work upon their sales and profit in the different segments. So again, we are using the same thing. We will be grouping them by using the group by function, and then we'll plot a bar graph in this case, and it will appear it like this. So here also we can observe the same thing. Consumer is giving us the higher profit and sales, and least profit is in and sales is in home office. Now we are moving on further to the next column, that is state. So we'll check the state-wise trend. First, we have checked the value count of the state, and we can see California is at the top. And let's move on below, and we can see that we have at least we have Wyoming. So the next is, we will observe this by plotting up a bar graph, and we have used the plot command, and we have sorted it also. So we have got it in an order. So California is the highest, so maximum buyers are from California, and the least buyers are from Wyoming, followed by West Virginia, North Dakota. So we should focus on the highest buying countries, that is California and New York and Texas. Now, as you're observing the state-wise trend, so let us observe the sales and profit state-wise. So again, we are using the same thing. We will first use the group by, and then we'll sort it accordingly, and we are doing the ascending first because by default the ascending is true. So in this case, so that we can get it in descending order, and accordingly we have plotted, and we have got this as the graph. And here we can observe some of this green one is our profit, and we are getting in some cases it is in the below the zero, so it means it's negative. So that means these countries are in losses. So what we have analyzed from here is that maximum sales and profit are shown by the city California, minimum is shown by Texas. We have got further analysis that what are the few states which is giving highest sales, that are California, New York, Washington, Michigan. Then 4 states which are giving lowest sales, and these are the top 4 states which are having facing losses. So we can also observe that Texas has high sales but low profit because its profit is going in negative. So the business manager or the store should deal with these countries which are giving highest sales but their profit are going in minus. So should work upon on the processes that could lead to the process, or we should decrease their sales because that are leading the store to the loss. Now we are moving on to the region column, and we will analyze the trend into that. So first of all, we have used the value counts, and we can see that west region is the west region is at the highest, and so south is at the least. So this similar thing we are using plotting by using a pie chart, and we can clearly observe over here that the company deals majorly in western region and least in the southern region. So western and then eastern are the highest, then south, then central, then south. So south is the least, western is the highest. Now we are seeing the region wise sales and profit as we did before. Again, now we are using the group by, and ascending we did false, and we have plotted the bar graph, and we can clearly see which region is giving the highest profit and sales is the western and then the eastern, but lesser profits and sales are from central and southern. In the central part, we can also see that there's a medium sales, but the profit is very less. So we can see that it is not proportionate to the sales. So this was our for region. Now we are moving on to the distribution of regions based on the shipment mode. So for that, we are plotting our bar graph again, and let's see over here. I mean, we are plotting out the count plot over here, and we can see accordingly for the regions we are getting the ship mode count. So what can be analyzed from here is different regions. According to different regions, we can see which is the most opted mode. Earlier also it was standard class, but this is according to regions. So standard class is the most opted, and least opted is same day, because we can see from the colors the same day is the red and the most opted is the standard class, that is orange. So let's move on further and move on to the category column, which is the most important column. We saw that there are three categories into this category column: office supplies, furniture, technology. So office supplies is the highest and technology is the least. We can observe the same through a pie chart, and we can clearly observe that 60.2% is for office supplies. So major distribution is from office supplies and least is in technology. So the business manager should work upon technology category so that the business can progress. So now we are moving on to the sales and profit of the category. So we are again using the same thing. We are moving on to the group by command, and then we'll plot the same using a bar graph, and we can see the sales is the blue one, yellow is the profit, and the trend can be observed clearly. The observation that the category has the maximum profit in sales. Technology category, which one? The technology category has the maximum profit in sales, and office supplies category has minimum sales, and we can see furniture category has lowest profit. So this is the analysis which can be derived from this bar graph. Now similarly we can go for subcategory. We will first do the value count, and we can see binders is the highest and copiers is the least. So the same we will see from a pie chart. So this is our pie chart for the subcategories, and it could be clearly observed that the store has wide variety of office supplies, especially in binders, and then followed by paper department. And next is the least is in copiers, and then machines and supplies. So now we will observe the total sales and profit by subcategory, and what we will analyze is we have used the group by again, and we have grouped the subcategory with the sales and profit, and we have sorted it, and we have plotted the bar graph, and we can observe sales is blue, profit is red. And the thing we can observe easily is the highest profit is earned in copiers, we can see, and while selling price for chairs and phones is extremely high compared to other products. And we can also see the tables and bookcases are the things which people don't prefer to buy, so these departments are in loss. We can see it's going in negative, tables and bookcases. So this was the analysis from this. Now we will analyze category and subcategory together. So for that we have plotted a count plot for both first, and here this is the count plot, and we can see that what are the analysis from here easily. Now we are moving on to the, after plotting the count plot of category and subcategory together, we will be moving on towards the sales and profit of category and subcategory together. So first we will find out for the sales, then we'll plot for profit, and then accordingly we'll plot together. So we are using the subplot function so that we can get all the plots together, 4 plots. So for furniture, first we have used the group by category, subcategory, and for sales, and then for profit. So here we are using sales, and here we are using profit. So first we will work upon sales. So for furniture we have used, then technology, then office supplies, and then total for all 4. So we can see from here the phones, chairs, storage, office supplies. In the category office supplies, these 3 are at the highest, and accordingly we can see the category wise furniture is plotted, office supply is plotted, and technology is plotted. So the analysis which we could make from here is phones, chairs and storage were the maximum give sales, and then minimum sales were from fasteners, labels and envelopes. Then similar thing we'll do for profit. First we'll furniture, technology, office supplies and total or full we'll plot using the subplot, and we are plotting the bar graphs horizontally again. Here we have used the pink color. So here also we can observe the same trend. First for the total, so maximum profit is from copiers, phones and accessories, and loss is from tables and bookcases. As we just saw before also, they were the profit was coming in negative. So now we'll observe them in the combined form. So we have plotted for furniture, technology, office, and then total. This was for sales. Similarly for profit we are doing all the 3, I mean, including total, it would be 4. So total, furniture, technology, office supplies. We have used the subplot, so all the plots would be together. So all subcategories we can see highest is for copiers, then phones and accessories. And let's move on. I hope it's visible. So yes, now we saw that highest sales in copiers and phones and accessories. That was very clear in the from the all graphs, all categories graph, and lowest sales and profit was from tables and bookcases. So let's move on further, and let's see that we are plotting the count plot of the subcategory along with the region. So what we can analyze from this count plot is we can see the colors of the different regions, and we can see that people residing in western and eastern part of the US tend to order more from the superstore. So the company should focus more on these regions. Now we are finding a trend between, or I could say the relation between the profit and discount. So we will plot a line plot for that, and we can see upon plotting on x-axis discount, y-axis profit, we can easily observe that profit and discount have a negative relation. We saw that earlier also while finding out the correlation. So profit and discount have negative relation. If one increases, the other decreases. We are also plotting the histograms for all the negative numerical columns. It automatically gives for the numerical column. So for sales, quantity, and this was for sales, this is for quantity. Then below we had for discount and profit. And the observation we could make from here is that most customers tend to buy quantity 2 and quantity 3 over here. We can see it in this graph. Quantity 2 and quantity 3 bar is going at the highest. So this was the observation from here. Next, we can see over here that the profit is from 0 to 20% for the discount. If the discount offer is 0 to 20%, then we are having a highest profit. So that is the observation over here for this case. Next, now we'll analyze sales, profit, and discount together by using the pair plot. So pair plot gives the 4 sections at a sales, quantity, discount, and profit, each plot with each column. So we can see, and we have used the subcategory as a hue parameter. So we'll be getting the color wise trend according to the subcategories, and we can get the analysis from here, and we can see that from the discount and sales and profit pair plots, that if discount increases, profit decreases. If discount increases, sales decreases, and as sales increases, profit decreases. So this was the analysis. We can also make a scatter plot for sales, profit, and discount, so that we can get a better view of that. And from the scatter plot also we can clearly see the colors show the discount increasing, decreasing, and we can again clearly see it as discount increases, profit decreases. So discount and sales have a lesser relation, but sales also decrease with increasing discount. So this was the analysis from here. Now we are moving on to find the cost. So we are doing the feature engineering part. We are adding one column, and how are we adding cost is we are subtracting sales with the profit. So we did this, and then we have added it to that, and we got our sales column over here, and by subtracting these two values, sales and profit. So now what we are doing is we are grouping this subcategory with the cost, and we are checking which we are checking subcategory wise the cost. So we have seen which are the things the retailers are spending more is on the chairs. The bar is the highest, so chairs, phones, and then tables. Now we are finding the profit percentage. So profit percentage would be profit upon cost into 100. So that is what we have calculated, and using the iLog function, we are just finding the percentage of first 5 products. These are the names. So we're just checking how is the data, how the data looks like. Now we want to find the product with a high percentage. So we will just sort the values and using the profit percentage subcategory, and then we'll group by, and I am using the head function to head 20 so that I can get 20 rows, and I can see that profit percentage is highest 100% for these rows. So that means we can see that all the retailers selling phone, binders, papers have got 100% profit in their business. So this was the analysis of this data of the superstore of the USA based on their sale, discount, and profit. So this is the conclusion and the suggestions also, observation and the conclusion and the suggestions, what all can we improve from the this data so that the business can progress. So that was all. Thank you.